everybody, One of Wiisdom here. Early morning, bear with me. Well, it was a really early morning when I went to bed, but now it's early morning. About to head off to work. Haven't really had to drink much, but the popular request on the night has been, and I told you I would do this. I had my kind of order I was going to go through. I would only change that if people had something of consensus they wanted to see. And that, of course, mirrors something that I saw whenever I was doing the Skylanders Imaginator news videos. And it is, of course, the good doctor, Dr. Crankcase. Have to say, he was going to be fairly soon anyway, to be honest with you. But we'll go ahead and bump him up. He is a tech Element Quickshot. He kind of stayed true to his roots. You know, we had a lot of villains sort of like make strange changes we can't explain. Crankcase, he was tech. He stays tech. He, didn't really have a battle class back then because it wasn't a thing, but the way that he played in Trap Team makes sense here. So, worked out very, very well for him. I have to say, the figure looks like it's going to be pretty sweet once we get it out of there. But as you can see, he is a Sensei Skylander. There's the Imaginators logo. Slogan, the Doctor is in. Coming around to the left-hand side, you've got the nice silhouette with the peer in on the figure from the side. And over here, you've got similar situation. Right here, this is really one of the coolest new things this time around, is just the artwork on the top. I can't explain what it's like. I mean, behind you, as I've unboxed them, like I've got Wolfgang, Chaos, and Aurora here, there's just so many options for you to do things with the boxes, regardless of whether or not you have the Skylander in them, sealed as a factory fresh, preservative, or if you've unboxed them and you're just like, ooh, I'm gonna have a hard time throwing that box away. Very, very cool. This is something that you similarly saw with like the Elites when they first came out. I was like, man, that box is, I don't think I can open it. That's kind of where they've elevated just the standard fare with the Senseis. I'm going to be getting a lot of comments and stuff. I've got tons of new videos up, and my apologies in advance there if that ding of the iPad annoys you. There's our inset box art. He looks pretty much the part. He looks as we remember him, so that is good. Dr. Crankcase, Sensei Skylanders unleash almighty Sky Chi powers, unlock unique gear and weapons for your Imaginator Skylanders. Also featured, we've got Ambush, Airstrike, Barbella, Ember, and of course a trio of creation crystals. So what do you do when you unbox these guys? We've got opposing tape dots, one on the right, one on the left, so I like to come in with a knife. Cut those, it's just easier, and this, let's be honest, if you were to use your hands, you could probably do it, but you also run the risk of tearing the box, and the saddest thing there is you might tear this. Some people might even just cut these out and sort of make like a collage or, like a display with them. And then you've got this tab, which I don't have fingernails, otherwise it would be easy. Once you slide that up. For retailers, they've got this super cool system where the little, peg, which is integrated inside to be stronger, and these really don't weigh too much either. But it's a situation where they can hang it or they can have it flat on a shelf, so that's pretty cool from the retailer side of things. But what we need to do is lift that up so we can open this. This has the Tech Element gear cogs all over it. I think that's actually decent lighting for you. Believe it or not, I am hoping I can find a can lights today. But at the same time, do I leave work and come home to continue work on Skylanders Imaginators, or do I leave work and go to a lumber yard to try and find a can light? That's a tough question. It's really not, and it's probably going to be me coming home hoping there's a little daylight I can salvage. Alright, oh, that is cool. Okay, now these have proven quite difficult to unbox, but it's basically a U-channel or a C-section, 45 and 45. Down here, these are not taped. These are actually slid through a slit in the plastic, which I absolutely love. Not that we care about what's in there. No sticker sheet, no stack card, no tie-in with Battlecast. Kind of a sad deal there, but the fact of the matter is the figures look awesome, and that's what we're focused on. So, be very careful. This is like the third one I've torn, the plastic. And I don't think it would cut you, but I mean, it'll definitely prick you, so be aware of that. And I ordinarily try to advise people to work the plastic, but I mean, these are really in there. I feel like what they had in the past where characters were getting broken in packaging or during shipment, or people would go to the store and take a picture, and Crankcase is like upside down with an arm off or something, yet somehow sealed. I feel like this will totally eliminate those issues, or come very close to it. But on the flip side, it takes a bit of massaging to get it out. This one was actually one of the easier ones that we've done thus far. So, and then of course the base, I like to work it up from the bottom, and we are good to go. So, this is oh, he looks really good out of the packaging, doesn't he? Let's start with the obvious. This is our first tech element we've unboxed. So, is that the tech element logo? No, that is the Quickshot Battle Class logo. Something I thought could have been done is put the element on the opposite side. Some of the figures may not have lent themselves to that very well, plus it's kind of not necessary. But the way they kind of circumvented that, obviously tech is going to go with the silver color here, but you can see the traditional gear cogs. Again, all the way back to SSA, they always had like the gear cogs built up that they were standing on. So this is sort of a modern interpretation of that. And again, being a larger and a wider base allows them to do bigger, more impressive poses. So the footprint will keep him stable. He's not going to be top heavy. Back in the day, Crankcase is one of those guys that if he was built up and he was on that standard uniform size pedestal, he would be, you know, backing over like Slam Bam, for example. Not the case now, and that is pretty cool. This right here actually does have a texture to it. It's almost like one of those playground asphalts, if that makes any sense to you. But let's take a look at the good doctor. He's got the beloved top hat, very cool. It is sealed up on the top. He's got his goggles in place, gonna do some mad science work. The detail on the shirt is actually pretty good. It looks legitimate. It almost looks like he just left work at 5:01 on a Friday and he's out of there. He's done with work. He's ticked off. He's gonna go have some fun. It's kind of got that vibe. Like he just, imagine him in his business suit, guns tucked in their holsters where you don't know he's got them. Walks out, and then he pulls an Office Space deal and just, you know, type of a thing. There we go again. But, anyway, let's start. We've covered the shirt. It's tucked in the belt. It's not really so much a belt as it is kind of like a Willikin type of a connection, if you will, if you recall that chapter. But pretty simplistic setup here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 legs. They're sort of just, again, standard Willikin design if you go back. Chaos's little woodland friends, you know. Not woodland friends, we should say, but more like wood friends, I suppose would be the better terminology. It looks like wood. It looks like posts. It looks like, you know, connection joints. Everything is kept wood, though. There's no, like, brass rivets or, you know, metal screws and nuts and bolts or anything. It's just straight up Willikinville. And then right here you've kind of got the illusion of motion, and how that's done is, again, the way he's moving. Keep in mind, he can spin around fairly quickly. It's not like he has to be posed like Stealth Elf with her hair straight back or something. So when you turn him around, you can see that his coat is kind of flowing with his motion, which is a very nice touch. They've even added in the wrinkles. It's got a little bit of a texture, kind of similar to the hat, really. He has got some brown gloves, kind of with the classic X overlace design on them. Face color is sort of like a evil seafoam, we'll say. It's a very dark seafoam green. That's the closest tie-in I could think. The blue hair is in excellent contrast, not only to the face as a complementary color, but to the rather, you know, earth tone brown whites that we see with his Willikin setup on the lower end, and the t-shirt. The cape and the hat itself, it's sort of like that red-brown color. I don't really know how to describe it better than that. When you see it in person, you'll think brown, and then you'll get it in lights, and you'll think, oh, it's kind of red, and then you'll just be like, oh, it's red-brown. We'll just go with that. Oh, you got some loud noises going down. But right here you can see the guns, and the coolest thing on them is they've got the goo up there. And it's just a little capsule. It's like a translucent green, and that worked beautifully. And it has just that another pop of color out on the extremity, ties in with the base, provides contrast, complements everything else that we see here. Very, very cool setup. So what's left now is that part of the video where I awkwardly, no Siri, no one wants to talk, where I awkwardly spin these guys around and try to read the bio. No one is really quite sure what exactly Dr. Crankcase is the doctor of. Does it even matter? I mean, look how cool this guy is. but his technical engineering achievements are legendary. The secret to his success lies in his modified concoction of glowing green goo, dun 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 dun, as you can see there, which causes wooden objects to come to life and turn evil. His unique skill set makes him a valuable asset to the Doom Raiders, who have plenty of nefarious uses for evil wooden creatures. Who doesn't, right? It is also commonly known that Dr. Crankcase served as an evil inspiration to chaos. That is a pretty big compliment, I would have to say. This ties in with his previous stories, by the way, but got it done. Evil inspiration to chaos. Once upon a time, who had figured out how to make his own wooden creatures, the Willikin, come to life after reading about the Doctor's exploits in the Minion Monthly catalog. I'm still waiting for that to become something we can subscribe to. Chaos also respected Dr. K's interest in world domination, doom, and well-documented love of pickles. Let's see here. This is such small font I'm having to read. After being captured by the Trapmasters, Eon gave Crankcase a choice. Either go back to a newly reformed Cloud Cracker prison, or become a Skylander Sensei teaching a new generation of Imaginators his formidable battle skills as well as how to stay clear of a life of crime. The Doctor accepted the deal, but first had to prove himself by helping to rearrange all the books in the Academy's library, a task which took almost 2 years, testing every ounce of will he had, and his knowledge of the alphabet. Now he uses that newfound knowledge to train Imaginators on the ABCs of shooting as the master of the Quickshot class. So there we go again, his slogan, the Doctor is in Tech Element and he is a Quickshot Sensei. So what I've seen with the Imaginators from the Creator app and whatnot, I'm kind of thinking a banana Quickshot character is in the works for me. And I'll have to unlock everything, but it just seems to make sense with what they provided. Nonetheless, whoever we create Quickshot-wise will be training with the hands of Dr. Crankcase. And I have to say, this is a fantastic figure. We've got Chaos, we've got Wolfgang, we've got Crankcase. Even if you got out of Skylanders, maybe Superchargers was your breaking point, you just, I'm not going to do it, it's too much of an investment, whatever it may be. If you played it all in Trap Team, you're going to have fond memories of these guys, and you're probably like me, you wish like, well, these traps are cool, I love playing as the villains, but I'd like the figure. And if that's the case, I've talked to several people that fall into that category. They're like, man, I'd really like it, especially Chaos, of course. But if you were into the latter games or you followed them, this is your chance. You can grab this Crankcase figure and you could set it up in your SSA and Giants tech characters. You could have Bouncer, Trigger Happy, Sprocket. You can have all the tech people kind of hovered around your what will be significantly taller, aside from the Giants and some swappers. But if you go standard core characters, he's just going to dwarf them, and it'll look really cool in your collection, so keep that in mind. But the packaging is amazing, the figures are extremely well done, and I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up so I can edit it and get it uploaded and onto YouTube for you to enjoy. That said, again, I've kind of got an order I plan to go through these characters. If I see enough people commenting on the videos or on Twitter or, the forum or my website, I'll try to accommodate you and get, what you want to see next taken care of. That said, bear in mind, like some people were asking for Crankcase. I'd already recorded Wolfgang and, Aurora at that point in time. But hey, I'll try my best to make it happen, give you what you want to see. And I will take it from there. But I've got to get to finishing up, getting ready, going to work, having a day there. And I will get back as soon as I can to the pool table so we can unbox and possibly play Skylanders. I didn't get to play last night. I did get it installed on the Xbox One, which is 50% of the process, I suppose. Nonetheless, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, hit that like button. Crankcase will not be happy if you don't do that. If you like Crankcase, if you like this figures, if you like what I'm doing, your support is always appreciated. For a bonus brick in the Wall of Wisdom, leave hashtag Crankcase. If you're unfamiliar with the Wall of Wisdom, that is my way of thanking you for your viewership on the channel. You can become a Scholar of Wiisdom. That will be covered at the start of an episode of Wisdom Plays Minecraft. Bonus bricks like hashtag Crankcase come at the end. You can find all that information down below. Take advantage of it. It's basically my way of giving people what they always seem to ask for, which is an in-game shout-out, and it forever immortalizes you, barring a creeper. which I would then try to fix, but it will forever immortalize you and help build the Wall of Wisdom. Again, check it out. I think you will enjoy it, particularly if you're also a fan of Minecraft. Nonetheless, I know a lot of people not super big into Minecraft, but they like seeing their name called out and what they've watched, and it's working out pretty well. Currently, we've got over 430 bricks, and I haven't been doing it that long, so get in early and enjoy it. That said, thanks so much for watching. SkylanderClub.com, this is a great time to join. OneOfWisdom.com is my personal website. Make sure you follow me on Twitch and Twitter. And for myself and Dr. K, we will catch you back here for more action from the pool table.